From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big night as $1,400 third stimulus checks are paid to countless viewers of this channel who are on SSI and SSDI today. A series of banks are released by this channel in the ticker below, indicating those that paid stimulus checks today. If you see your bank in the list, you better want to check that bank account right now because that check might be there. I'll be going over whose checks will be updated tomorrow with incredible great news. Meantime, the $1,400 third stimulus check with that March 26th date got great news today. And also big news crashing in is that Wave 3 check of April 2nd. I have all that big news as well. Meantime, I have all the big exciting news about what's crashing in the waves next week, and I don't mean the surfing waves. There's a lot of other stuff happening, and I'll also be covering new video from the White House, the Labor Department, a new video from the press secretary, a new video from Dr. Walensky, and a new video from the president. All these videos and more will be covered over at the two recordings of Afternoons LA. You don't want to miss either recording. This one will go over what's happening this weekend and today. And the next video after this, I'll be answering your live chat. Two videos, two details, 1 hour of massive recordings of stimulus checks landing in bank accounts, and one person helping you get to the finish line. Let's do it. This is Afternoons LALATE. What a big afternoon we have upon us as we go into the final minutes of the day. But the exciting news started early as $1,400 third stimulus checks went out. And guess what? Just as I told you, they went out this morning. And just as I told you, certain banks released the funds today. Congratulations to those viewers. And boy, this is a big recording. Finally, we are here. Congratulations. Thousands and thousands of viewers of this channel got their stimulus check today. More are getting it tomorrow, and more of you getting it the next week. And over these two recordings, stay with me for both, you're going to find out what's happening. There's a lot of news happening today. And I got to tell you, on a personal level, today and tomorrow are the two biggest days for the delivery of that $1,400 third stimulus check. You don't want to miss a single recording over today and Saturday because this is when everything is going to change. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. This is a double dose, a double header of two recordings, so stay with me because there's going to be a lot of video, a lot of recordings, and a lot of checks in these two shows back to back over the next 1 hour. First, the $1,400 third stimulus check new wave went out this morning. As I told you over the last few weeks, every wave goes out from Treasury in the morning. And I also tell you that checks land immediately for direct deposit and that certain banks release the funds as soon as they get them. I specifically named the banks and specifically told you when they released them. And guess what? 100% of that has been correct. If you're watching this video, you see in the bottom of the screen is a live ticker. That ticker is live as of 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time here in Los Angeles, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. These are the banks that have released the third stimulus checks of $1,400, fourth wave today. The money went out this morning from Treasury, and immediately these banks released the funds. There you are. And these are the banks, April 2nd, 2021, that released the funds to thousands of viewers of this channel. They are Green Dot, Chime, Bancorp, Cash App, H&R Block Green Emerald card. Also, the American Express Bluebird card. Also, TurboTax. Big ones have been released for NetSpend. Also, MetaBank. Brinks was the surprise, and also a few credit unions. Now, what's important for you to understand is I strive to give you the most accurate, most up-to-date, and most to-the-minute details. But ironically, in this case, all these banks, with the exception of Brinks, which was a surprise, a new one, released the funds exactly at the minute and the day which I said I was going to release it. And guess what? If you go to other YouTube channels right now, they say that there's pending money for viewers in a couple of days. I think they need to watch me. They're so out of touch. They're literally reporting that people on SSI and SSDI are not going to get their money for 5 more days from today. Let's recap. All these banks right here have paid viewers on SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Railroad Benefits, who bank with these banks their money today, not 5 days from now. I think you need to update your videos, other folks. They are literally putting out incorrect video after incorrect video all throughout the day. And people are saying, God bless you for your information. God bless them for their incorrect information. People want to know where their money is. Don't tell people wrong information. Now, if you're watching this and you see your bank listed below, and you haven't checked your bank deposit, go check it right now during this video. If you have checked it and it hasn't yet posted and shown any deposit, this is what you need to know. These banks have released funds on Fridays, Saturdays, Mondays, and Tuesdays ahead of every wave every week before the Wednesday date. They don't release the funds on the Wednesdays. They release the funds ahead of time on the Friday, the Saturday, the Monday, and the Tuesday. So if you don't see funds post to your account and you bank at these banks and you don't see a post by Tuesday, it's in the mail. It's in the mail. Now, if you do not see your bank in this list, you're not getting a bank deposit today because these banks don't, if you have a national bank and you do not see your national bank in this list, it's not going to release the funds today. It's because the national banks do not. So who are the national banks that hold the funds to Wednesday? It's always Bank of America, Chase, Citicorp, Direct Express by Comerica. They all release the funds on Wednesday. They don't release the funds early. Remember, this is for everyone. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad Benefits, and veterans. For people who pay tax returns, who people don't file tax returns, who people have a non-filer filing. These are the banks that release the funds early. And congratulations to the viewers who got the funds today. It is still a few more banking hours on the West Coast, so the funds could still post. If you're tuning in from the West Coast, this is what you need to know. Most of these banks released the funds around this time on the East Coast earlier today. So they were releasing them about 10 o'clock to about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock on the East Coast earlier today. If you're on the West Coast, where it's just about before 2 o'clock, it could still post on the East Coast. If you're in Hawaii or Alaska, it could still post there as well. Meantime, tomorrow they would also post additionally. The big ones that posted a lot of deposits today were NetSpend and, of course, MetaBank and Chime. They just posted tons of accounts today. All right. Here is that element. The second item of great news is those March 26 checks. Those March 26 checks from Wave 2, congratulations. More of them posted today in the mailbox. Viewers today received that March 26 check in the mail today. Wow. And if you have it in the routing, because they do informed consent for this weekend. So the great news is that that March 26 check is just late. It ain't missing. It's coming. So that is the second round of checks that are hitting today. There's actually a third round of checks hitting today as well. And that is the Wave 3 mail checks. Those are the April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th checks. Viewers have been telling me they've been getting in the mail those April 2nd checks on time. Wow, this is huge, great news. let me recap because this is actually one, two, three different groups. Three different groups are seeing money land today. The March 26 mail checks showed up in mailboxes today and are showing up in mailboxes tomorrow, according to their informed consent by USPS. Second, the same thing for the April 2nd checks. Viewers got them today or showing them landing tomorrow. And finally, third, those banks here made all those incredible deposits of $1,400 third stimulus checks. Congratulations, these checks were deposited today. Funds are available, SSI, SSDI, Social Security benefits, and more. So if you did not get a deposit by the end of today, when is your deposit coming? I have all those details as well because I know exactly the details. This ain't guessing. This is the helpfulness of viewers of this channel who step forward and say, this is what happened to me. If you have something pending, send me a DM. If you show something newly updated in the IRS tool, send me a private message. Ultimately, every time you help me, it helps someone else. And along the way, there's always a bump. There we go. I was like, who is that talking? I was like, that sounds like me. So along the way, there is always someone else talking. Just hopefully they say the right thing. All right, now, the next thing to know is that coming up in a second, I'll be going over what's happening tomorrow. Tomorrow is a very exciting day because, boy, tomorrow you're going to find out where your check is if you don't have it, and I'm going to tell you what's happening tomorrow. But let me cut to the other breaking news which happened today. The day started with incredible news about labor. Yes. Going into today, we were facing the following situation, the question of how long is stimulus going to continue. Stimulus is dependent upon one major factor. How many people are unemployed? How many people are currently without their job or the job is missing? 8 million. It's a number you know, I know, White House knows, Federal Reserve knows. 8 million jobs missing. So how many jobs was this economy creating per month? Well, going into this morning, we were generating 300,000 jobs a month. 300,000 jobs when there's 8 million missing means it would take 16 months to put 8 million jobs back. And then this morning hit. The Labor Department this morning released two numbers, well, actually a few numbers, but two major numbers. The first one was revising the February number. It said we did not generate 300,000 jobs in the month of February. We generate 500,000. Oh, good. So 300 is 500. But the big one was the March number. For the month of March, the United States generated 1 million new jobs. Shocking. The number came in at 916,000 new jobs created in the month of March. If you got that Larry Kudlow calculator out, pull it up right now, because 1 million into 8 is 8 months. Suddenly we saw that it would take 16 months to get those 8 million jobs restored, and now we're at 8 months, half the number. But we're not done there yet. Why? Because a series of analysts today, as soon as the number hit, said, you know what? April is not going to be another million jobs. It's going to be a 1.5 million to 2 million jobs for April. So if we generate 2 million jobs in the month of April, that means 4 months it will take to get back to restoring those 8 million jobs. This is huge. To which viewers obviously asked me the most obvious question, and they asked it right away because the viewers of this channel are very, very sophisticated. What does this mean about reoccurring stimulus checks? What does this mean about unemployment benefits? Here's what you need to know. It's currently April. So 4 more months, May, June, July, August, that brings you to August. 8 months brings you to about December. As you sit here right now, we're currently on a trajectory of the jobs not being restored to December. That's actually exactly what we've always said all along. Treasury, Yellen, White House, and myself have always said the jobs, the 8 million jobs, won't be restored to January. We need stimulus now because we're not going to have those jobs restored to January. But what happens if those jobs are restored on a 4-month track, not an 8-month track? Then what does that mean about that forced stimulus package bill? It means that the bill really needs to get to the Senate as soon as possible. Because if the bill's in the Senate in the next few weeks or a month or two, we're fine. Because by then we're still not restoring the 8 million jobs. Let's say we restore 3 million of them. We still got a lot of jobs to restore. So we're still fine. We're not fine if it takes all the way to early September to get this bill into the Senate. If you get this bill into the Senate, then we could already have those 8 million jobs restored, and there would no longer be the talk that we're dealing with. Bottom line is, currently, we are perfectly fine for reoccurring stimulus checks under the fourth stimulus package, even with this incredible growth, because they need to get this bill to the Senate in the next few weeks, and that's what they said they're going to do. If they do what they say they're going to do, we're fine to getting those multiple stimulus checks out the door. As to unemployment benefits, however, I don't think that unemployment benefits will ever be extended past September. PUA, UI, FPUC, I don't believe at this current rate that unemployment benefits will be continued after September when we're looking at those 8 million jobs potentially being restored at almost 80% by September. But the numbers today had a lot of other details as well, and I'll be covering those in a second, but let's watch a White House video, which you may have tuned in and saw live with me this morning on Mornings LA. Let's see what the president said this morning when talking about these new job numbers.
Do it. I'm looking forward to it. Well, good morning. This morning we've learned that our economy created 900,000 jobs in March. It means the first 2 months of our administration has seen more new jobs created than the first 2 months in any administration in history. But we still have a long way to go to get our economy back on track after the worst economic and job crisis in nearly a century. But my message to the American people is this: help is here, opportunity is coming, and at long last there's hope for so many families. Credit for this progress belongs not to me but to the American people. Hard-working women and men who have struggled through this pandemic, never given up, and are determined to get the country back on track, as well as their families. But I think it's also a reflection of two things we're doing here. First, the new economic strategy we've launched, one focused on building from the bottom up and the middle out, and one that puts government on the side of working people, and that rewards work, not wealth. When we invest in the American people, it's not just those at the top that make our economy grow. They're the ones that make it grow, ordinary Americans.
Other numbers which were important to hear this morning were the following. Of the 916,000 new jobs created in the month of March, the largest number was hospitality at 280,000. Construction generated 110,000 new jobs. And what was the reaction to that? Charlie Ripley, Vice President of Portfolio Management at Alliance Investments, said, today's numbers from payroll suggest the labor market has begun to turn around, but we still have a long way to go before substantial progress is made and the labor market's fully recovered. Also, what we saw today was incredible growth. It shows the economy is healing, says Quincy Crosby, Chief Market Strategist at Prudential Financial, in a statement obtained by LA Today. It shows the economy is healing and those that lost their jobs are coming back to the workforce and the recovery continues and are lifted. The only concern is if we have another wave of COVID that leads to another round of closures. Now, there were several other items that came out today which are very important to touch on that are big for you across the board and your families. One is the supply chain concern. A new report out today said that the Institute of Suppliers Management says that there may be a big supply chain concern, whether it's paper towels, soap, a part for your lawnmower or a part for your car. There's a lot of part obtained by LA. Suppliers are struggling to manage demand and capacity in the face of chronic logistics and labor issue, and there's no end in sight. Meantime, a new report from Jefferies reports that 93.5% of the businesses in the United States are now at pre-pandemic operational levels. Then there was a new report today that talked about, well, what's happening with GDP? This is really interesting. Now, GDP is our growth. GDP is the strength of our economy. And it was currently at 5% in Q1, this last quarter, coming into today's number. And they looked at Q2 later this year and said, well, you know, it looks like about 10%. Well, a new report today said a shocking development. And I'll have that in a second for you. But let me cut back to that $1,400 third stimulus check and tell you what's really surprising and shocking for tomorrow. Tomorrow, when you wake up, 50% of you will have a surprise. And what is that surprise? An update in the IRS tool. Yes, the IRS tool updates itself every Saturday morning. This is how it works. The money goes out on a Friday, and then on Saturday, the tool updates itself. The tool updates itself on Saturday based upon what was sent out the Friday before. The tool for 50% of you tomorrow will reflect a direct deposit or a mail check coming next week. What are you getting next week? 50% of you are getting a mail check with an effective date of April 7th. A deposit check of April 7th. A mail check could be landing for 50% of you on April 8th, 9th, and 10th. So this is what you need to know, is that if you bank at any major bank, like a Chase or a Bank America, or have a Direct Express card by Comerica, two things could be happening to you tomorrow. One, the tool will work and provide new information. The tool will still not work. For 50% of the viewers of this channel, the tool never works. But when it works, if it does work for tomorrow, it will show the new indication of what's happening for you for next week. This is huge, great news. Why? Because of the people getting stimulus next week, of which some got it early today, and they're in the live ticker below, of the people getting money next week, 50% are going by direct deposit, and 50% who are expecting direct deposit are getting it in the mail. I'll have all those details and more in a second, but let me explain the implication of this GDP number. The new reports today say that some analysts believe that GDP could grow at 10 to 12%. Why is this important? It's very important for a very, very important reason. What's going on is there's a concern of upside risk. What's upside risk? Well, for the last few weeks, you may have been on YouTube and seen a series of YouTubers who do this shock or this in their images telling you that there's a market crash, stock market tumble about to occur. Well, guess what? Series of new reports today, in light of the great labor numbers, suggest that there may be a big upside risk that the market goes through the roof over the next few months, and you're sitting on the sideline expecting a crash, which absolutely never happens. A series of analysts today say that the upside of a massive, massive bull market could be happening, and stocks could go through the roof over the next few weeks. It's very important to understand where we are as a family. I'm ensuring that you get that stimulus check over the weekend and next week. You're going to get it. And together as a family, we're going to ensure that every one of you get that stimulus check. Then we're going to focus on getting the other money and the third stimulus package as a family. There's $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 of money that's available there. The EIDL is about to go live. The shuttered venue grant, which includes people beyond just a venue, that's about to go live. There's money for rent, utilities, food. There's money for all viewers of this channel who make less than $45,000 or $70,000 that you can get. Money for the children, the hazard pay, the college student, $1,700. As a family, we're going to focus on getting that big money under third stimulus while remaining financially stable as we prepare for fourth stimulus to become a bill and become a law. But along the way, I want you to be financially stable. I want you to understand where the economics are going and where the markets are going. I don't want you to be behind on anything. And I'll be back in 60 seconds to show you more about where that stimulus check is coming this weekend. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LALATE. As we tune into a new video, which you may have watched live on Mornings LALATE, of your labor secretary talking about the money and the job creation numbers that came in from Wall Street. Let's listen in a little bit to that video from him earlier today, and let's see what he had to say.
Important moment in time. The news today, under the President's leadership through the American Rescue Plan, the America's workforce is climbing out of a deep hole that COVID has put us in. Our recovery is building momentum, and many more Americans are certainly returning to work, as we can see. But we still have a long way to go, and there's a lot of work to do. Today's Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that the American economy added 916,000 jobs in the month of March. The unemployment rate edged down to 6% from 6.2% in February. That's certainly good news for over 900,000 working men and women and families in this country. We saw significant job growth in most sectors of our economy, and it's clear that the national vaccine program is not only saving lives, but it's enabling more people to get back to work. Relief checks and expanded unemployment benefits are not only putting food on the table, they're also stimulating our local economy. The supports that are being put in place for rent, mortgages, child care, schools, small businesses, and emergency paid leave are giving workers the security they need to hold on and start planning for a better future. The American Rescue Plan certainly has had positive effects across our economy, laying down the foundation for continued recovery. At the same time, over 8 million jobs that existed a year ago today are yet to return. Millions of people in this country are still hurting, and disparities within the workforce continues to be a major concern. The African American unemployment rate in March was 9.6%. The Hispanic rate was 7.9%, compared to the 5.4% for whites. In addition, barriers to the labor force participation for women continue to be a problem that has been exposed and exacerbated during this pandemic. We must continue to address the fact that working people in communities already suffering the most from inequality were hit the hardest during the COVID illness and job loss. That's why American Jobs Plan proposed by President Biden this week is so vital to our future. It tackles each of these issues head-on with bold action. The plan offers a necessary path forward towards sustainable economic growth that is robust, competitive, and inclusive. As a former mayor, as Jen mentioned, as a former mayor, I know all about infrastructure needs. This plan would move us into the 21st century and to the forefront of the world.
Thank you, Bacon, for the super chat right then. Really appreciate it.
Create millions of good jobs all across the United States. A report issued by Georgetown University's Center on Education and Workforce found that the American Job Plan would create over 8 million jobs for people with just a high school diploma alone. It would increase the share of infrastructure jobs from 11% to 14% of the jobs in this country. Reviving the blue-collar, middle-class.
In the live chat, that there's been some fascinating comments while this video has been playing from the Labor Secretary talking about the new jobs number. Loco CMC just said, I just got alert that there's a pending April 7th from me for my bank. Congratulations, Loco. And earlier, Loco said he banks with Direct Express card. Yes, throughout the day, I've had people with the Direct Express card from Comerica getting alerts that there's a pending April 7th deposit. Congratulations for that view as well. Another person dropped in one of the comments that they have pending checks for next week as well. Yes, some of the banks have also posted the pending statuses for next week across the board. Let's listen in more to what the Labor Secretary had to say.
I've personally seen the benefits of union apprenticeships up close. As mayor, I launched an apprentice program as mayor and as a labor leader. I've seen them change lives of women and people of color in low-income communities in the city of Boston. For those reasons and many others, this plan that is the fuel to a true engine of our economy. The working people certainly will run off that. It's not only the numbers that tell the story of the economy. This is about the conversations Americans are having at kitchen tables all across our country. Over the last 2
And let me jump also right back in the live chat because there's more updates coming in from viewers. One viewer just said, Wesley, I just got it from Varo Bank, V-A-R-O. So congratulations. That, of course, is a smaller bank. It's not a national organization. So congratulations to Wesley Chavos, who just got his stimulus check today, Friday, by direct deposit from Varo Bank. Someone else asked, when do you think, Northern Grace, when do you think that big banks like Wells Fargo will post the deposit? Big banks will only post deposits on Wednesdays. Let's look at that chart again. Big banks only post deposits on Wednesdays. That includes Direct Express by Comerica. It's important to understand that throughout the day, people have always asked, when do you think Direct Express by Comerica? This is a no-brainer. It only releases funds on Wednesdays. Here have been all the wave dates. And here were the first 2 wave dates, and here were the wave dates so far today. There are more waves coming next week, and these are wave 4 and wave 5. The big banks will only post deposits on the wave date. So if you are a banking customer that is a bank that is not listed in the ticker going below the screen, if you don't bank at Chime or Bancorp or Cash App or any of the banks that are shown on the bottom of the screen, or H&R Block, your deposit would only post on April 7th. Now remember, 50% of viewers who are expecting a direct deposit may still get it in the mail instead. Now let's turn to the really great, exciting news. I'm so excited for you because tomorrow is going to be a huge day. Why is tomorrow such a huge day? I think you know the answer. If you know why tomorrow's a great day, drop in the comments. I think you know why tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow's a big day because it's the day the tool updates itself. It's the day the tool updates itself. We've been doing this as a family for the last couple of weeks, and we knew it before anyone else did. Every Saturday, the tool updates itself based upon the money that went out on Friday. Now, understand, 50% of you, the tool will never work. The other 50%, it will work. And so what will the tool say if it does work tomorrow? It'll say direct deposit, April 7th, or mail check, April 8th, April 9th. Yes, congratulations. Boy, it's been a long run, and I'm so excited for all the thousands of viewers who got their stimulus check today. If you bank at these banks that are appearing on the bottom of the screen, the recap is the following. These banks on the bottom of the screen got the funds today, like all the rest, but they released the funds today. The IRS sent out the 4th wave of the $1,400 third stimulus check this morning, and that wave of checks immediately posted without any delay, without holding the funds, to the banks below. Viewers of this channel who are on SSI and SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, taxpayers, non-taxpayers, all type of people, they got the funds today if they bank at these big banks. If you bank at these, small banks, if you bank at these small banks and you did not get your funds yet, watch tomorrow because they posted generally Friday, Saturday, and Monday. But the massive drop, I haven't seen a drop of this significance in a while, was today. These banks allowed the funds to post. Next, there's 2 other waves hitting bank accounts, hitting mailboxes today. The March 26th mail check showed up again today, or is routing for tomorrow for some people who are tracking it, and also the April 2nd check, 3rd and 4th. Those are 2 different waves from 2 different weeks. The first one's very late by a week, and the second one apparently is on time. Great news. So those are coming in the mail at the same time. Finally, the other big news is that tomorrow will be when the tool updates itself, but some viewers who use Direct Express from Comerica have already got an alert that stimulus check is pending for April 7th. Boy, what a day it is. I will be back with you in just 5 minutes and be jumping into the live chat. We'll be seeing those other videos that are very big for purposes of forced stimulus coming up in a second. So if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. If you have any questions and I did not answer them, jump into the next video. I'll be in the live chat with you, answering your questions one at a time until we get to the finish line. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.